We get in life are moments, so we just try to string them together. What makes a woman beautiful to you?
Her smile.
Family, music, film. It doesn't happen often, but just a beautiful long ride home from the 4th of July fireworks. Did you ever think that you could do anything else besides music?
I realized, what else am I going to do? I mean, my passion, my heart, what really brings me joy, playing music.
I think it's that perfect moment where everything I love comes together. Important thing to you with a woman, how she looks or who she is?
Who she is. It just comes natural to me to feel music and rhythm and the forward motion of music and how much it expresses a wide range of emotions.
Everybody, thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi today. I hope you had a good summer week, and I had one heck of a week, and I'll tell you more about some of the crazy things that happened to me this week. But I Googled what women over 65 think about, what women over 65 care about. And everything that came up was negative. Oh, depression, anxiety, worried about being alone, worried about their money. It just went on, and everything was negative. I am going to forget doing my favorites video this week, and I am going to do my top 3 reasons why I go on living, why I love my life. I think I need to just come out of the closet and say, okay, I'm a woman over 65, and depression and anxiety and worrying about things that haven't happened yet. No, I'm not going to let any of those things beat me. So I want to share with you the top 3 things that keep me going every single day. And then I want to hear from you. I want to know, what are the top 3 things that make you want to go on living? What makes you love life? So I think we're really going to have a wonderful time of this today, sharing what it's really like to be a woman over 65. People say now, why are you complaining about your thinning hair or your wrinkles? It's a privilege to get older, and that's true, and we intellectually know that, but we really have to internalize that. We have to truly believe that this is an amazing privilege that we have been given to age, and sometimes it can be tough. I think one of the number one reasons that I love my life, one of the reasons that I always want to go on living, is I have to pay my debts. The debt to my dear friends, the debt that I owe to the people that have come before me, the debt to my family, the people that have known me all my life. I have a tremendous debt that I owe to you. If I don't live the best life that I possibly can, if I am not trying to be the best person I can be, then I'm not paying you back for all the love that you show me. I have an amazing debt that I have to pay people that I haven't even met yet. I have to lead the best life I possibly can. And I hope someday my grandchildren will be able to tell people what I was like, what I accomplished. I never want to phone in my life. I don't care what my health situation is. I don't care if I can't walk, if I can barely breathe. I am never going to phone in my life. I'm never going to stop trying to live with hope and have the best life I can.
When I was young, I used to be able to sit still and drink in the quiet of life. But now, I don't want to sit still. I want to hear the noise. I want to be the noise.
The very first word that I ever learned how to say was why. Why do the birds fly? Why do the bees sting? Why, Mom? Why does everything work the way it does? I drove every adult crazy that came around me as a child. I just was born curious. It was like I was born searching for the meaning of life. I have no idea why I was like this. But it was a burning curiosity. The first thing I would think about when I would get up in the morning was, what can I learn today? Who can I talk to that will tell me something I don't know? I loved going to school. I was just so curious about every person I ever met, every animal that I ever interacted with. I just wanted to know why. I allowed myself to be curious all my life and pursue that. And I was lucky enough that I had a family. I had a mother and a grandfather that thought it was just fine to ask questions and to be curious. And they enjoyed seeing me learn. So I was very lucky that way. I love coming here every week and talking to you all. I get to read your comments and you share with me your life, your story. And I'm curious. I want to know more. And we have so many things in common here. But it never gets old. I think we all are on this path. We're curious. 4 years ago this month, I had a near-death experience. I came down with a horrible case of food poisoning. Now, everybody thinks they're going to die when they have food poisoning, but I really was. I was rushed to the ER, and what was so serious is my oxygen levels had fallen so low that they admitted me, and, well, things were really touch and go for a while. And when I was laying there, I knew it was serious. But I wasn't afraid. I was seeing my whole life in sections. It was just flashing before me. What they say happens, it really does happen. Your whole life is right there before you, and you feel like you can touch it. But I wasn't afraid. I just had this feeling that, is this how my story ends? Is this what's going to happen to me? I've always been so curious about my life and how I would say goodbye to everything and everybody. And I remember thinking, really? I'm going to go out with food poisoning? But there was such a lack of fear. And the next day, I pulled through and I was on the road to recovery. But I realized at that point that I saw my life as like a novel, a beginning, a middle, and an end. And maybe my passion for life had something to do with wanting to know what that last page of that book would be about, how it would end. I wanted a happy ending.
Life goes on and you want it to.
but you also want to hit pause just for a moment so you can feel one thing at a time and understand it and learn from it and use it to move forward.
I said, Randy, I'll give you $1 million if you never ever play music again. What would you say?
I say, keep your damn check.
Connection. Connection is everything. Connection is part of our heart, our love, and our humanity. When I was a kid, my grandfather indulged me and let me have my own little show on Saturday night where, the neighbor kids came in and the neighbors, and, I did 2 shows a night. I wrote my own theme song. I was 5. But I wanted to connect. I wanted to communicate. So I started writing little songs. I started composing little poems. I wanted to connect. I don't know why. I just wanted to connect with the world. And the first way that I could do that was learning songs. The second way I learned how to do that is by writing my own songs. So there was that desire to connect with the world, to connect with other people. When we get older, one of the things that is most dangerous for us is isolation. We lose family members, our friends pass away, and we begin to feel like senior citizen orphans. Isolation is very dangerous for our health, for our physical health and our mental health. So it's so important that we stay connected. Connection. In every single way that you can think of how connection runs through our lives, I think we need to chase it. That connection that I have with friends. I had a friend come up, and he's in this video, my friend Randy. He's one of the finest drummers in this country, and I was so flattered he came up, and we spent the day together, and we went hiking, and we asked each other questions about life, and I filmed some of it. And that's so precious to me. That's a connection. Some of the happiest moments that day with my friend Randy was when he was opening up to me and telling me his story of how he grew up. His father was a musician, and he went through a lot. So that connection with the people that we love, that connection of what's going on in the world, that makes me want to live the best life I can every single day. I'm just not curious. I don't just owe a debt. No, I need to connect. When I read your comments and you talk about how you were raised, so often you will say to me, my mother could not connect. My father could not connect. I did not have a give and take relationship with my siblings. We just didn't connect. The saddest people that I have ever known in my life are people that are talking about how somebody stole their coat in college in 1978. They just could never move on from the past. They never could connect with the present because they were always living in the past. And I never wanted that for myself. What's done is done. Learn from it, share it, so you can help other people. But now is now. But I wanted to share with you what happened with my little granddaughter this week. I got to have my grandson and my granddaughter for quite a bit of time this week. And it was the first time that I ever faced a little bit of a crisis with them. Well, my granddaughter is deathly afraid of thunderstorms, the boom of the thunder, and she's frightened of lightning. And she doesn't like rain either. So it was really kicking up bad. It was a bad storm. And she started to melt down, and her way of dealing with it was to cover her ears with her hands and not move. She was frozen. She did not want to hear that thunder, and I could not console her. She was so frightened of that storm. I told my grandson that that thunder was just the angels in heaven, and they were bowling and making quite a racket up there, but they were having fun, and he laughed, and he wasn't afraid. But that story didn't help my little granddaughter. The only thing that helped my granddaughter was when I pointed out to her, look how scared little Desi is. Desi is so afraid of that thunder, he's shaking. And she looked at Desi and she started putting her hands down from her ears. And she realized that this sweet little dog was terrified of the storm, just like she was. And she went to comfort him. She actually walked over, conquered her own fear in about 20 seconds, and hugged him and kissed him and said, Desi, don't be afraid. It's just the angels bowling. In that moment, what overrode her own fear was the desire to help another creature on this earth. That is an amazing example of connection, of getting out of our own way by not being so self-absorbed and thinking about our own fears. Something naturally, well, it overtook my granddaughter. Comforting Desi was more important than comforting herself in her own terrible fear. I was amazed and so proud of her. And Desi liked it too.
It's that perfect moment where everything I love comes together.
Everybody, thank you so much for spending this time with us today. I really did love every minute of it. And if you get time down below, could you share some things that maybe you love about your life? Please have yourself a happy, fun, safe new week. And when you're done with your week, come back and see me and Desi, okay? All right, it's a deal. We'll be here.